seems to be working. This is going to be a favoritism show. Whenever I do the Pokemon, is when I start talk. I do my talks about favoritism. Is the topic at hand. This is Volothan Modulus Tautology coming to you, live recording, because that's how I like to do these. I'm not into the pre-script, write down all my thoughts and write it into a I have a dream speech and deliver it to you in that way. I'm more of a freestyler. Now, yeah, there's going to come a day when I write my rhymes down and I'm going to come at your neck with hip-hop atonement of tautological epistemology as an acronym from hate being real, like the number system, in the way that we understand the universe, right? And it's going to be like, what are you talking about? And even though it'd be poetic, either I came through the door, said it before, never let the mic magnetize me no more. Like, that's how Rakim started off that rhyme, right? Then he flipped it up a little bit. Biting me, fighting me, inviting me to rhyme. See how he doing it? Can't hold it back. I'm looking for the line. Genius, right? Then he taking off my coat, clearing my throat. Rhymes will be kicking until I hit my last note. See how he changing the rhyme scheme between roses are red, violets are blue, right? I just said that and don't know what to do. However the rhyme is, right? He kept it nice and basic and flipped it between like 3-4 different rhyme schemes. Then that next bar he said, my mind remains refined with all kinds of ideas of self-esteem to make you think that my thought took years to build. But still say a rhyme after the next one. Prepared, never scared, I'll just bless one. And don't you know that I'm the soloist? So Eric B. for president. That's the name of the track. That's hip hop 101 right there. Right? And that's why Rakim is number one. Now, since then, I decided to put LL Cool J at 0. Right? Now that's kind of, I'm trying to show, 0 or 1 is just still position. There's still just elements in the numerical system. What those elements mean numerically, ideologically, or ideologically, it's not rhetoric, but it is colloquialism, but it's not rhetoric. It's building the foundation of the mathematical language so that we can have a better understanding of science, technology, and engineering. That's the epistemology that I'm preaching over here. Yes, the psychology is involved. Yes, philosophical understanding is the kind of the root, but it's not. I'm different than metaphysics. I'm on another dimensional plane, but it's still the same dimension. Yeah, Volo done lost his mind today, but I'm talking about favoritism. And I'm bringing it back as simple as possible when talking about Pokemon. Because you got to catch them all. Another shout out to Kenyatta Black, because he started this. Who's your favorite immigrant? Now Trump got to go catch them and check them green cards. Are you a U.S. citizen or are you a immigrant? Like, are you an illegal? That's the new question now. That's why we got to catch them all. I know I'm safe because I'm a foundational Black American. I like to say autochthon because I am the third. My father is junior. His father was senior. His grandfather, my great-grandfather, was autochthon. He was here before a lot of you whack rappers. Yeah? And whack rappers, yeah, I am talking about Diddy and even Jay-Z's a whack rapper. Jay-Z's alright, you know what I mean? He let it all go to his head, and the whole time be like, all right, when you gonna start trickling down? When you gonna start trickling down, right? And the proof of that is seeing beans on a truck cooking cheesesteaks, but I do want to get down to meat beans, shake his hand, buy a couple steaks, you know, battling maybe, you know what I mean, and some bars, you know, it's all for fun. That's what hip hop has always been. I seen that what's his name? I like Styles P. There I go, forgetting the young boys, and they not young boys. They, you know, we on par with each other. He's Gen X or Gen Y. But I love Styles P. The Ghost G-Host is my man out of that group. My arm a little bit, and me rapping. We'll get back to. We'll come back to that. I get forgetful sometimes. Forgive me, man. You know what I mean? You are top 5, and people know I'm talking about. Oh, you know who I'm talking about. Put the name in the comment section. That shows that you involved in the conversation. So, like I was saying here, I'm watching. Right now, I'm playing Pokemon, and the reason why I'm using Pokemon as the backdrop is in favoritism, which the question for the gamers out there. Those that play Pokemon, the ones that I bought last Christmas, is Violet and Scarlet, or Scarlet and Violet. Now the question I have isn't the not conjunction, but we'll get back to the, you know, operator or whatever we want to eventually call them. And I'm using or because I'm still talking about the excluded middle, right? We'll get more into that logical understanding, or what we're using is the art of logical thinking still, when dealing with reality, and deciding reality, right? So this one here, this question is, which one is your favorite? Is it Scarlet or Violet? Which one do you like more? Pokemon Scarlet or Pokemon Violet? Yes, I bought the twin pack last year for me and my son. I took Violet, he took Scarlet, and we building up our Pokemon and battling, you know, periodically. And we wanted to make that into a TV. Well, not a TV, but we're still trying to figure out, are we calling these broadcasts, programs, shows, you know, whatever we want to podcast. It's just me and the C. Whenever we get time to chill together, let's play a game together, and then we'll share it and call it something interesting. Right now, our focus is Minecraft. Minecraft is genius. So if y'all check out the 2 episodes that we made of Minecraft, where I set it up for my son to be able to go in the dungeon, how I like to go in the dungeons, you know, with material and stuff, and go in there and get some gold or diamonds, or, you know, in the mine shafts. And we found a real good mine shaft with all kinds of monsters and everything. And yes, it didn't turn out too well the first 2 times, but this time, the 3rd episode, which we'll be recording later on this week, I'm feeling optimistic. I feel like I'm gonna have my son prepared to go in there and get some real good material for me without dying, jumping around on lava like he's Sonic the Hedgehog. Like that doesn't cause a million rings to fly through the air, you know, after getting hit. You know, the invincibility frame. How long does that last in Sonic? And that's the terminology he gave me. I'm like, invincibility frame, what is that? Oh, that's after you get hit, you get a little chance of invincibility. Well, you don't get that in Minecraft. You start off back at the home in your underwear. So we go back and we get to whatever stuff survived that didn't burn up in the lava, and therein that's what I'm losing thought a little bit. That was the premise of the 2 shows. This next show should be real good. And like I said, we'll probably record that on Tuesdays, Taco Tuesdays for us. Like when I cook a taco for us, I'll flip between chalupas or Doritos or whatever, you know, or you know, I try to make it healthy sometimes. I might do a veggie taco, but we're trying to figure it out, and that'll be an eventual show or program itself, where daddy cooks and son and daddy cooks a meal together or something like that. We'll add that to the repertoire also. Because that's what it's about. That's what YouTube is supposed to be about. It's supposed to be about having fun, making videos, and sharing them with family, so that my son's children's children can look back and say, hey, that's my great grandfather having fun with my grandfather, et cetera, et cetera. And I mean, that's the beauty of these but that's supposed to be the beauty of them. But politics done got involved, and we'll get more into that. That's not where because politics is history. Well, we do want to do shows on history eventually, because hip hop is an American culture created by the children of the 1960 civilization rights. So now we're talking 1960s. We're talking about history, and of course, my favorite black autochtons. Americans, foundational is Malcolm X, Martin Luther King, and Kwame Ture. That's not to exclude so-called white people, because that was back then, that was considered reverse racism, which is a very ignorant term, but we'll get more into that later on too. So we like to include John F. Kennedy, Robert F. Kennedy, and we're still trying to figure out who's going to be that third quote-unquote white person. Bernie Sanders, no, we don't really roll with Bernie like that. Bernie, sometimey. He has leftist mental health issues that he needs to resolve. But we'll get more into the psychological makeup of our elders as well, because they're the ones still stuck in the past. We respect the past. We love our elders. We are in the current process of helping them, trying to help them to enjoy their retirement, because it's Generation X. If that's the one thing that Donald Trump signifies, is now Generation X's turn to be the president of the United States after him. He is the last quote unquote baby boomer, should I say, right? There it is. So that was a little bit of a house cleaning, to borrow a term from Royce White. Shout out to him and his Senate run. Yes, I thought about getting into politics. Yes, I'm still, quote unquote, running for mayor of Philadelphia. I don't like what she's doing with Chinatown. I don't agree with that. Chinatown is its own, so it's building a new stadium for the Sixers, especially after they playing like a bunch of bums. It's corny, especially when the complex down in South Philly is more than adequate. What we should be doing is figuring out ways to increase the infrastructure down there so that it's less traffic, or to help the traffic, widen some lanes, figure out different other routes to come in, or place some kind of park and travel kind of a thing via free transportation or something, with working out with SEPTA. It's something to figure out, and something that I do have a background in operations research. Give me enough information with the problem, and I can solve it. That's one of the gifts of mathematics that I like to share with my son. I'm really off topic today, right? Let me turn down the volumes, touch into this just a little bit. I just wanted to give y'all 30 minutes of funk, or whatever y'all want to call this. The question of the day again is, who is your favorite Pokemon? Well, in this episode, we're talking about which one is your favorite game, and I learned a way to add it as a question. So after I upload this, I'm gonna add it as a question. Which is your favorite version of this Pokemon? Is it Scarlet or Violet? But those familiar with this game, I'm really not gonna do much gameplay right now. Let me see how much time I put in real second. And I'm 14 minutes in. I did pretty good, right? Did pretty good. All right. So yeah, The beauty of these modern games is that yes, you can make your own avatars. So I am like I said, I'm a foundational black autochthon. I'm reddish brown in complexion. Uh, this is very very close to my complexion. In the summertime, yes, I do get very dark skin. In the wintertime, I do get redder. So it is a part of my heritage, and it is deeply rooted in the American redskin. I'm not afraid to say that word. Um, those that are very, very, very fair skinned and saying that that's racist towards myself is we you are part of the problem of what conspired these past 4 years. You see, all I want to do is play a video game with my son. Of course, I want to teach him science, technology, engineering, mathematics, STEM, because that's my background. At the same time, I do have vast knowledge of hip hop, and hip hop is one of the most intellectual poetic forms in the universe. You see, yes, back in the days, we started with Sugar Hill Gang. But gang turned into such a negative connotation towards black people that we had to start calling ourselves things different. So that's when A Tribe Called Quest came apart. Wu-Tang Clan. We had to change up from being a gang, right? So the Sugar Hill Gang might be the last gang, and that shows originality or diversity within hip hop. So Sugar Hill Gang was one of the first rap groups. Some say it's officially the first rap group to go on wax, and the song is called Rapper's Delight. And it was, we'll talk more about the history of that, but I just want to do the lyrics real quick. And yes, they do have a lyric where my all-time favorite lyric from that song is, and the chicken tastes like wood. Like, I remember as a kid hearing that, and it'd be Christmas time, and it's like, don't you dare say that, or Auntie Rochelle will pop you in the mouth for saying, because she made the chicken this year. Shout out to my Auntie Rochelle Fleming. She is one of the original disco queens, top 5 in the world. There it is, right? And we would get together for for Christmas time, and you know what I mean? And you're not allowed to talk bad about the cooking. And we was down, all the kids was in the basement because we was bad, quote unquote bad. And, the parents was upstairs and they was doing their talking and stuff. And then we call us up for dinner and we pray together and enjoy a nice meal as one big family in a small little home around the corner from Broad Nominee. So, B&O, shout out to the corners of B&O where Girls High is at. Yes, I had a chance to go to Central High, but I chose the Great Northeast. That's when they first started trying to desegregate is the term that we kind of used. Blacks and whites. So it was, instead of me going to my normal local schools, which were segregated, your Kings and Germantowns, in Uptown, the Uptown area, I was shipped out to Northeast with a lot of people from my neighborhood. So that's why it was like, still like going home, because a lot of people from the neighborhood went to Northeast High. And, and when we did kind of clan up or ganged up then, so me and Spinny Bang, shout out to, one of my BFFs, I guess a gay term, but, but therein is where I get critical of the left, because it's, you said the 3-letter word that you're not allowed to say, because I'm not allowed to say it, because I am, what they say is heteronormative. And what heteronormative means is that I'm all about father, wife, son, daughter, being the righteous order ordained by one God, our Father, the art of time, hip hop life, love, one. It's not hard to understand the hashtags. What? It's a beautiful game, isn't it? So I gotta forget to, and just do gameplay. Just do gameplay. Now, see, this game is a little different. Okay, so this one goes from the number 1 spot. So let me see if I can change the number 1 spot here. Let's see here. Let's go here to check summary, change position. There you go. All right, so now from the number 1 spot, I choose Conby. See, there it is, or Combi. So Combi is my quote unquote favorite Pokemon. I'm telling. See, and there is where it relates back to the ignorance of favoritism, right? Therein is a white lie. He's not my favorite. No. Which one is my favorite? I still haven't decided yet. But me using the term white lie means that I'm just saying it for the purposes of it understanding what favoritism is. Or I'm using it for the terms of, being not truly deceitful, but being good, a good lie. See, a white lie is a good lie. So therein, what is a black lie? Is that a bad lie? See, I'm also doing this so that the children can understand. So here we go back to the 60s where white lies were good lies and black lies were bad lies. And now here we go forward to 2024, and I see an organization called Black Lives Matter, and all they're doing is telling black lies, like they matter. They're the ones, black lives, whatever, right, matter. They're the ones that pointed at me and said that I'm hetero, I am homophobic, I am transphobic, and now the newest one is I'm xenophobic. I am not afraid. Today I give myself permission to be all that I can be. New fields of divine activity now open for me. Unexpected doors fly open. Unexpected channels are now free. My mind is focused and directed towards my victory. I now create what I need using divine energy. Good things come to me easily, in peace, and at the right time. There it is. Hip hop from Mrs. Parker. Mrs. Parker is knowledge reigns supreme over nearly everyone. Karis one, the teacher's mother. She gave him that affirmation as a child to reflect upon. It's kind of like a prayer. So yes, praying, giving yourself affirmations is a good thing. And that's what 90% of Stop the Violence hip hop is actually about. But they want to promote P. Diddy, Jay-Z, gangster rap, right? Yes, Karis one is gangster rap. But if you listen to the story, he's talking about virtue, not anti-virtue. He's talking about morality, not anti-morality. He's talking about principle, not anti-principle. What's the last one? Morals, ethics. He's talking about having ethics, not anti-ethics. the same is true with pride. So yes, I guess there is such a thing as true pride. And I would say true pride is, as I repeat, God is love. Life is hip hop. Time is holy. Right? Those are true pride. False pride is money, which is the fourth dimensional illusion that it doesn't exist. It doesn't really exist. So we talking about money, I'm talking about time being holy, and you start talking about, your sexual desires of little boys and little girls doing whatever to each other, and at 15 years old, even changing the biological makeup of their own bodies, that they have the right to do all of these crazy things, even as a 5-year-old. No, a 5-year-old, if she's a 5-year-old little girl and she's crawling on the ground, barking like a dog, you're supposed to say, get up, little Susie. You're not a dog. You're a little lady. Right? If little Johnny is, crying all the time, like, because he can't control his emotions at all, when the choices, emotions, or thoughts, right? It's, Johnny, why are you crying? What is the thought behind your tears? Are you just crying? Do you just be crying? So it looks like Zombie went to sleep. So yeah, this is I'm working on my characters. Like I show you, this is a town. See how beautiful the town is. This is just me sharing it for the people. I'm kind of leveling everything in top secret. Like, I'm not even really using these. These are all low level 13, 11. I'm trying to get them up there. I do have level 40, 45 that I'm prepping for my next battle with my son. Our next battle, I think, is 45. But we got a lot of games to work on here. You know what I'm saying? And that's not. And I apologize if it seems like I'm bragging. I'm not bragging about how many games we have. This year, we're not getting any really new games because we still have a lot of game and context. But what we're doing is we've been working towards rebuilding the old hardware. So I completely took apart my PlayStation 3 and put it back together, and no, it didn't work again. I did the same thing with my old CPU, my old computer. It didn't work. So I need help from my man O. He's taking classes and he's building his own PC on the side. I'll check in with him and see what his progress is and what he's trying to build. I'm trying to build a brand new PC too, and teach my son how to do it. We're trying to build several of them. One of them is going to be like a little small Raspberry Pi, and then another one's going to be a big mainframe. And those are just little things that we're trying to do. These things help the station so that we can have games other than Nintendo, but we are basically a Nintendo cheerleading station right now. Because yes, Nintendo is closing in on the PlayStation 2 as the all-time selling console. I think it needs 18 million more units sold, or 14 more million units sold in order to break the record or to tie the record. It generally sells, it can sell up to 18 million a year is what the kind of pace that it's been doing. Of course, the pace is not linear, and we'll get more into that as I develop other shows where I talk about abstract algebra, linear algebra, and advanced algebra one day, right? Because those are all prerequisites for game theory, group theory. Those are the two courses that I'm personally trying to teach my son. So in order for him to get to those two courses, he's already doing the prelims in his classes right now. I really don't push him any further than what he does for his sub. The teachers give him A+ in those classes, but I do add a little bit on the side to, just give them a vision of what is possible when it comes to real mathematics. And those are some of the things that we share while playing these games. So shout out to Matt Pat again, who was the original game theorist. He has a whole channel based called Game Theory. My channel is called Volo Television. My son's channel is Charles 4DHD, I think it's called. It's Charles 4DHD. It's perfect for little kids. I make sure that he keeps his content 13. He's like, son, you're 13. Stop trying to follow 17-year-olds that are headed to jail. Instead, we're going to build the culture the right way, rebuild the culture the right way. And that's the purpose of 95% of these talks and shares that we're doing right now. These are still the preliminaries. That's why I'm really not playing the game. I'm more so just introducing the game to the people. This game here is different than the other Pokemon Aquarius that I was playing. I'm more into that game right now because this one I'm building alongside with my son, and he's not interested in this right now. He's really interested in he's loving Minecraft because the movies are coming out. He kind of wanted to see it, but he doesn't. But he also knows, we can't afford to go see 10 movies during Christmas, because there's a whole lot of, and that's the economics that I'm teaching him. That socioeconomics is actually the art of making the most out of life. I'm gonna repeat that again. Socioeconomics is the art of making the most out of life. One more time for y'all. Socioeconomics is the art of making the most out of life. Notice I did not say money, which is the fourth dimensional illusion that really doesn't exist. That was 30 minutes. That's what I was checking. You have to bear with me sometimes when I take pauses. I hope y'all didn't just cut off and say, what happened? And there it is. That's today's episode. I'm going to get this one up in the next 30 minutes or so on Facebook. It's Sunday. I'm just giving y'all references because I'll record sometimes and then don't have time to really edit it. I'm not going to really edit this one. I just wanted to get a thought out there real quick. And then I still have a couple other ones, and some that relate to the Minecraft that we've been doing and other type things. And I've been cutting some of them up a little bit to add as little short reels and, just trying to build the clientele, the subscribers, the likes, the shares, the comments, or whatever, the contributions, $ Volosam. $ VOLOTHAMP. Just send $1. If you have it. All contributions go to helping us to build this platform. It's easy. It's not hard. Yes, I'm only at like 60 subscribers on YouTube. I have I have 700 friends or something like that, or followers on Facebook, and still building over there too. So it is the network, increase the network, you increase your net worth, I guess is the game plan. And I hope y'all enjoyed this little presentation that I put for you, and enjoy this week before Christmas. All right. This is Volothamp Modulus Tautology. I'll be back soon enough with the teenager to do at least Minecraft, and then we'll talk about what other shows we're trying to create, and et cetera, and Nintendo, PlayStation, building computers, the science, technology, engineering, mathematics, and of course our first love. Well, our first love is God, one God. Hip hop, that is love. That's life, right? The words love and life both have 4 letters, but they're 2 different things altogether. That's Houdini. And then we'll get into Nas, one love, one love. You're lucky just to have. Well, that's Houdini, but Nas has a version of One Love too, which is considered gangster rap. But we're going to break down the lyrics on that song, and we know just more time to get things done. I do want to spend more time on the '80s when it comes to lyrics, but people are impatient, so we'll dive into some Nas. That Nas's version of One Love is, I think, is very important to it's very important to Generation Y or Millennials, but also it should be important to Z and Generation Alpha. But I rambled on more than my 30-minute time limit. Thanks for checking it out. One.